Hey guys! Today we're making a miniature kitchen, so I really hope you'll enjoy. First off, I'm going to be using these sheets of wood. You can get these in most craft stores or miniature shops. And if you don't have these, you can also use cardboard. First, you're going to measure out a piece that is going to be the back, and for this one you just want to make sure you have enough room for the oven, stove, cabinet you want, drawers, etc. If you're going to have this freestanding, you want to add 2 pieces to the sides. I'm going to be using mine in a scene later, so I just put the dividers for the oven and the drawers. But before gluing those in place, I just added a piece for the bottom, and for this one you want to make sure that you have a space between the floor and the kitchen table. And once you have that, you can add the tabletop. Next, you're going to cover the front. Obviously, if you want the cabinets to be working, you want to add some hinges. I only wanted one drawer to be working, so I just glued them in place. To support the one working drawer, I just glued in a piece from a skinny stick. And then I just made a simple drawer by adding 3 side pieces to the front piece and a bottom piece. To make the hole for the sink, I just used my electric file to drill a bunch of small holes all the way around, and then used a craft knife to cut out the rest. And of course, if you prefer cutting this out before you attach it to the rest of the kitchen table, feel free to do it that way. Once I had the basic construction, I just took some coffee stirring sticks or skinny sticks and glued these onto the table for extra detail. Next up, you want to paint it. I use spray paint, but you can use any type of paint you want. And because I obviously need mine to have some patina, I went over it with sandpaper and a file. You then want to mark off where you want the knobs or handles. And for these, I just bent and glued in some pieces of wire. And because I use brass wire, I just used silver colored alcohol ink to paint it. I already have a tutorial for an oven on my channel, so I'm going to be linking that in the info box. For that one I used different materials, so if you're interested in a different method, check out that one. For this one, I first made a box from wood. I used filler or grout to round off the corners and glued it in place. To make the door, I first used 4 strips of clay to make the basic frame, then baked. I then placed it on a sandwich bag and used resin to make the glass. And no need to worry if some of it seeps out, you can cut that off once it has set. Next, I painted the inside of the oven using black acrylic paint. To make the rest of the components for the oven, I first made those little knobs that you turn. I then added those to another strip of clay and baked. Glue that to the top and make the handle for the door. Because I already have a video on it, I'm not going to show you how I bent the wire for the inside of the oven in this video, but as mentioned, I'm going to link the other oven tutorial in the info box. You can then take the door, add some ribbon for the hinges, and paint it using black acrylic paint. And to finish off, I painted the top portion as well as the front of the handle using silver colored alcohol ink. To make the stove, I first added 4 circles to a square piece of polymer clay. I then bent and added some pieces of black wire. Added liquid clay to hold it in place, and baked. I used more wire to make the rest of the frame and glued it in place. Finally, I painted it using silver colored alcohol ink and black acrylic paint. To make the sink, I first took some scrap clay and made the basic shape, used mold putty to make a mold, and then used black clay to make the sink itself. Glue that in place, file the edges if needed, and paint it the same way you did with the rest. Lastly, I made a simple tap or faucet using a piece of wire and some clay. Really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next tutorial.